now that you can't really go and socialize in a pub, you spend quite a lot of time working. I know you are a very busy person, and using this opportunity, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to speak with me. So being in a CRO, being a senior scientist at the CRO, I'm sure you have no shortage of people wanting to, ask you something, and there's like hard deadlines and things like that. But what is like maybe one thing that you get a kick out of working in this kind of, very fast-paced environment, and that you would not really find in any other, I guess, position?
Yeah, good question. I mean, as you know, I'm someone who gets bored easily. So the fast pace, and the variety of tasks that you might have to do on a day-to-day basis, that keeps me going. If I know that if one task becomes mundane, there's probably 5 more that I got to get my teeth into that require a level of, critical assessment, developing assays, asking scientific questions. So there's no shortage of that. In terms of things that I get a kick out of, there's freedom to, explore some of my personal interests in terms of areas of drug discovery or research that, I've built up an interest in over the years. And I like the freedom to apply those interests and, give something to the department. So things like I was involved with developing and screening drug combinations back at my time at AstraZeneca, and being able to apply that to my work currently at Sygnature Discovery, where I'm currently based, has been great. And I've got a lot of those kind of things in a back pocket, that you kind of build up over the course of your career, that you may not necessarily get to get your teeth into if you have a more focused, should you say, set of things to do. But as long as we're delivering on client projects and making sure their drug discovery programs are moving forward, there's always the opportunity to kind of incorporate new ideas, bolster the capabilities of the department and things like that. And seeing that progress, I get a kick out of that. It's fun.
So I think your work involves working with, I would say, basically like a cutting edge technology as far as laboratory automation, I would expect, and things like that. This is something that I'm personally very interested in having you maybe describe a little bit, like what's some of the things that you're seeing at the very end of this CRO world that you're working in. Where do you see this kind of I guess technology leading to, as far as how fast you can deliver on some of those projects, and how far are we in terms of this, just pace from the, let's say, beginning of the last year and all the way now? Like how far have we come in the last year, basically?
So I mean, pace is like the name of the game in drug discovery. I mean, your work has to be rigorous, it has to be considered, but time is always of the essence. It's about getting these treatments to clinic as fast as possible. Not often you're racing against multiple clocks, whether they be competitors or other things. So technology is a large part of that. I mean, we've invested in a lot of different assay platforms that they're intended to make us more agile in the drug discovery process. So things that we do is we'll often run, functional assays and biophysical assays in parallel. So we'll be running multiple levels of drug discovery, bringing on expertise from cell biologists, biophysicists, biochemists, tackling the problem from multiple angles, because often you find if you can leverage that kind of resource at the start, pick the ideas that work best, then you'll get the quickest results in your drug discovery program. Another thing that we emphasize the importance of is interdisciplinary work. So we work very closely with our chemistry department and our DMPK department at early stages to make sure that, the chemicals we're testing, they're not going to be hampered by poor PK down the line, or, the chemists aren't going to come along and say, we can't do anything with this because it's a chemical dead end. So we're constantly talking to those guys so that we're not wasting time, when it comes to getting some kind of lead molecule in the pipeline later on. We don't want to hinder ourselves down the line. And that again involves a lot of different technology platforms. One of the most powerful that we've seen a lot of recently is fragment-based drug discovery, where we're taking really small 200 molecular weight chemical moieties, testing them in biophysical platforms. We get computational chemistry in a big way. So we're using virtual screening, computer modeling, looking at crystal structures of proteins, fitting things together. Coupling those kind of new techniques with more traditional screening lead-like compounds can really help. So I would, in a nutshell, it's if you're hitting the question from multiple angles and multiple techniques and multiple technologies, that naturally speeds up the drug discovery process, and it's something we put high value on when we're persecuting a drug discovery program.